Hi everyone, so I'm back again today with another chatty video. Last week I done like a beginner's brush guide and I focused on the eyes in that video, and today I'm doing the face. So I've just picked out again 5 brushes in my collection that I think are the basics and will get you through a full face makeup look. And just to reiterate, you don't need to pick up these particular brands, that's not necessary. You just need to pick up the style of brush, and if you didn't see last week's video, I'll link it in the comments box below or the description box even, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, so starting with the foundation, there's lots and lots of different tools that you can use to apply your foundation with. I know I go between kind of all of these different tools. You could use a painter style foundation brush to apply your foundation. You could use a flat top Kabuki brush. You could use a sponge. You could use nothing at all aside from your hands. Personally, for me now at the minute, I'm really loving a round-headed Kabuki brush. It's just a brush that I've been using a lot lately, and that's why I said that I would focus on this brush in particular. This one is called the Roundhead Kabuki brush by Nima brush. It's run by a lovely lady called Nima here in Ireland, so great to support Irish businesses. What I really like about this brush is it's synthetic, so it works really well with cream and liquid products. I've also used it to set my makeup, so I've used it with a powder foundation and it works quite well for that purpose too. The brush is just really good quality. It's packed full of bristles. There's no gaps where I can see down into the ferrule. That's a pet peeve of mine. But despite it being densely packed, there's still a lot of movement with this brush. It just bounces really nicely on the skin, allowing me to apply my foundation with ease. And then I use circular motions to buff and blend the foundation into the skin. And price wise, it's going to set you back about €18 I think, which for the quality I think is not that bad at all. Next then, I'm going to add some concealer, and to apply that product I'm using this brush here. This is another one from Nima brush and it's called Grace. So I'm relatively new to this brush here in particular. I only bought it recently, but I've got on with it like a house on fire, so I'm more than happy to recommend it. I was using a similar style of brush from a different brand, and I didn't want to feature it in this video because the company's customer service is absolutely deplorable and I just didn't feel comfortable recommending it. Customer service to me is just so important. You could have the most amazing products on the market, but if your customer service isn't up to scratch, well, you know, that's just kind of not good enough. But anyway, I love this brush because of its size. I can get right in under the eye area, right into that inner corner and blend out my concealer with ease. Because it's synthetic like the last one and due to its shape, it'd also be brilliant for applying a cream contour into the hollow of the cheeks. And again, because of its size, it's going to fit snugly into that area. Price wise, I think this is around, I'm pretty sure I paid €17 for this, so you know, it might kind of look a little bit pricey, but I promise you'll get so much use out of it, and it's just a really, really nice quality brush. So the next step for me would be to set those products in place. I want to set the liquid with a powder, and to do that I love to use this brush here. It's the Sedona Lace Tulip Contour Brush. Now I know the company markets this brush as a contour brush, but I love it for powder due to its shape. You know, it tapers up here into a point, so it fits really nice around the face. I find it's brilliant for setting under the eye area in particular because it fits snugly into that area. I just find it easier to set the under eye with this brush opposed to, you know, a rounded brush. So it's really handy for the under eye area, but it's great for the rest of the face as well. I use the side of the brush for the rest of the face. But what I also like to do is, after I've applied my contour, I go back in with some powder on my brush and I sweep it along underneath that edge just to sharpen it up and to provide some more definition. And I think it works a treat for that purpose. In terms of pricing, I'm pretty sure the last time I checked on the Sedona Lace website, it was maybe about $16 to $18, but I know the last time I did check they had a sale on and it seemed to be site wide. A lot of the brushes were half price, so you might be able to nab it at half price now at the minute. Either way, half price, full price, to me it's still a bargain. It's a fantastic brush. So whether you like to apply bronzer or contour, this next brush will come in handy. It's the Sedona Lace Large Angled Contour Brush. I love this again because of its shape. Can you see a pattern here? Due to its angled shape, it fits nicely around the face, so it fits nicely up onto the temples. in along the hollows of the cheeks, down along the jawline. I think I've had this brush for about 6 years or so and it's still going strong. Not a bother on it. It applies product really well to the face, it's nice and soft, it blends really easily and it doesn't shed. So as I've mentioned, this is another multi-purpose brush. You can use it for contour, you can use it for bronzer, you can even use it for blush. I just like to tap the brush onto the apples of my cheeks and then I sweep it backwards into my contour, back towards the hairline just to blend it in. It's usually priced, again, I think around the $16, $17 mark. But Sedona Lace, I know they have a sale on at the minute, they always kind of do discounts, but it's well worth picking it up regardless of what price it is. So to finish off my base makeup, I'm going to add some highlight, and I know this is another one that's personal preference. Some people like to apply their highlight with a brush like this, a fan brush. To me, this brush is kind of too flimsy and I don't like how it applies highlighter. Some people use sponges or their fingers, if it was a cream highlighter. Me, I like to use this type of a brush, so it's kind of like a smaller version of that powder brush I showed you previously, and this is the Blaithin brush by Nima brush. So it's small and ever so slightly tapered, and what I do is I pick up some highlighter on the top of the brush and I sweep it along the areas that I want to highlight. And with this brush, I just find you get a better application. The highlighter just seems to pack more of a punch when used with this type of a brush, and it's really easy to blend out the product. This brush, again, is another that could be used as a multi-purpose brush. You could use it for setting under the eye area, you could use it for applying blush on the cheeks, you could even use it for contouring. I think I paid about 17 or 18 euro for this brush. The Nima brushes are all kind of around that mark, and yeah. Okay, so I know I've discussed my 5 brushes already, but I thought I'd throw in these 2. They're not absolutely essential by any means, but they're just 2 I use on a daily basis, so I figured I'd feature them. This one here I use solely for contouring, and this brush here I use solely for applying blush. And looking at the 2 of them, you may think, Eimear, they're pretty much the same brush. They're not, I promise. So this first brush here is the Sigma F05 Small Contour Brush. And I've had my Sigma brushes, like the Sedona Lace ones, for about 6 years or more, and you know, they're still going strong. The reason I love this brush for contouring is because it's small and dense, so it applies the contour product quite precisely. And it really helps me to sculpt out the cheekbones. With the angled brush, I find because it's fluffier, you're going to get a softer finish. The product's more concentrated with this type of a brush, and that's why I like it. So the last brush I have, which I suppose a lot of people will kind of think is similar to the previous brush I showed, is the Sedona Lace Dome Contour Brush. Now, I love this brush for applying blusher because unlike the last one, unlike the Sigma one, it is fluffier, there's more movement to the brush, so it's just really nice for applying and blending product onto the cheeks. Really affordable too. Again, I mean, it's another multi-purpose brush. You could use it for setting under the eyes, you could use it for, you know, contouring, which is its main purpose, but for me, I like it for a blush. But then that's it. So I hope you enjoyed my picks, and I hope that you found the little kind of mini series helpful. If you did, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, comment and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.